Right, I'm going to show some examples of how to just record mileage on the reimbursement. Here's the expense report as we filled it out, and there's going to be a line item that says mileage, the attached gas mileage tab, and then this tab is the gas mileage. And you're going to start at the date range that the last one ended. So the last reimbursement ended on 10/31, so we're starting from November 2nd and going to go to the end of March for this one. And just to refer back to the training manual, some notes is that he gets 40 cents per mile, and then I've included his home address and the Claiborne address, which is probably used most often because the only meetings we're going to be tracking mileage for are going to use the Claiborne related meetings, where he either went out to Claiborne or met someone regarding Claiborne. So most often it's going to be a round trip from his house to Claiborne, which is 32 miles, and then occasionally he meets people for lunch in Midtown, which is usually about 14 miles round trip, making it a little easier. So I've already started doing November and December, and we'll show some examples of some January weeks. But you'll see, just put the date, Memphis, Tennessee, who we met with and where, and you can see most of these are Claiborne, about 32 miles. But sometimes he went to Claiborne first and then went somewhere else unrelated, so I would have cut the mileage in half. So let's look at the second week in January, and we'll add a couple of lines to that, and you can see we're not adding the start and end, just the miles driven. I have open my Google Maps to put in addresses to help calculate miles, and then the running total is down here. So for the second week in January, we're just looking for anything Claiborne related. We know that these yellows are phone calls, so that wouldn't count. But it looks like there was a media tour right here at Claiborne Temple on January 9th. So we're going to go to back to the reimbursement, and on 12/9/18 of the safety, we could say media tour at Claiborne Temple, and go ahead and put in 32 miles round trip for that meeting. It looks like he would have headed back to Midtown and back home after that. These are not Claiborne related meetings. Nothing here. This is a meeting with Frank, so that is Claiborne related. And then just to finish out the week, there's nothing on Friday that was Claiborne related. These are all phone calls, and that was a RDM meeting. So he went to Frank's house on 12/11, which is in Midtown. So we'll do 12/11/18. Fix that. Meeting with Frank Smith in Midtown. I'm going to do 14 miles round trip. We'll go ahead and look at the next week in January. Sorry, these should be 19/18 and 1/11/18. Okay, second week in January. See, on Monday, it doesn't look like there's anything Claiborne related. On Tuesday, nothing Claiborne related. Robert is, house flipping and RDM related. These are phone calls. On Wednesday, he met with Felicia and Jay, so that is Claiborne related, and then also met with Deandra on his Claiborne team at Casablanca in Midtown. So we're going to find out where they met Felicia and Jay in relation to his house. So I've got his Rich Road, his home address, to where they met, which is downtown. And it's saying it's 10 miles. So round trip, that would be 20 miles. We also know I met with Deandra on Casablanca, which in Midtown, which would have been about halfway back. So either way, round trip, it probably would have been about a 20-mile day to get there and then go back and meet Deandra. So just kind of using common sense here. We will go ahead and put in, let's see, what was the date? 1/17. Meeting Felicia Harris and Jay Hedges downtown. And that same day would have been Deandra Henderson in Midtown. So, and we'll say 20 miles round trip. And then let's see if there's anything else that week. Looks like he did meet with Frank and someone at Claiborne on the 18th, but then the 19th would have been an all-staff meeting at Lunchbox, which would have also been downtown. So we'll do 1/18, meeting with Maslow and Frank Smith. Claiborne, 32 miles round trip, and then 1/19/18, all staff meeting downtown. And what we can do is they met at Lunchbox Eats, so we can take this address and figure out that it took him, it was 15 miles approximately to get to Lunchbox, so there and back would have been 30 for that all-staff meeting. We'll go ahead and, yeah, about 32, since it's probably near Claiborne, so we'll just go ahead and make that 32 as well. Most of the downtown meetings will be 32, and Midtown will be about 14.